I'm going with Tumelo Nkune. I think with the two goalkeepers, one was more vocal, which is Andre. But I also wouldn't take it away from Kune being vocal. I think he is very vocal, but he's also one of the best exports, or rather the best goalkeepers we've had in the country. So I'm going with Kune, my team.
Kune as well. Yeah, like I said, Andre almost killed us, with the league. Again, good communicator, but I think Kune is just much better. More dynamic.
Sure.
Distribution.
Service.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, we
did that for Andre. I did that for him, so.
I didn't know much about Sizo Mutaung at the time. But with Boniso Katza, for me, I think by the age of 20 was when he already was making, alongside you.
Yeah.
I would go with Boniso Katza, just based on the fact that he went abroad, came back, became a success in South Africa once again. That was my team.
I know we shouldn't have favorites, but probably the best player that I've played with in defense. So I'll pick him any day over anyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know. It's very simple. I don't know going on Mark Fish. I'm going with Mark Fish. Needless to say, I think Umbazo was called Umbazo because. Right. Mark Fish. I think the experience that he garnered out in Italy, moving to England as well, the experience that he had, I think he would perform quite well in the team. 95 as well, winning the CAF with Pirates. I'd put him in there as well. So I'm going with Mark Fish.
Yeah. You sound like you played with those guys. I'll pick Basil. I also think I don't think he got enough credit that for what he's done for us as a country. I think he was blamed for a lot of things. But if you analyze the game properly and you see, like, especially the game, I think against Uruguay when we lost 4, there was one guy behind him, and then everyone blamed him because he didn't step up.
Push up,
He didn't step up.
For the offside,
so I think he deserves. For me, I'll take him Basil.
Okay.
Because also.
Are you for real? It's a non-starter, that one. I think we know what the answer is to that one. Lucas Radebe, definitely. Needless to say why. Look, he's one of the best we've ever had in the country. Wow.
No, Lucas, I'm with Lucas. I'll take Lucas any day over Bongani.
Sure.
I think Bongani just came on the scene and then scored against France, and next thing he was at Spurs, didn't play one game there. But obviously coming back in the A was probably one of the best.
Sure,
I remember the one goal he scored against Sundowns. He was above everyone else. But for me, Lucas, of what he's done, and also just his stats,
Mokoko. I'm going to go with Neil Tovey, the leadership that he brings.
Okay.
I think also during that time, being part of a national team filled with black people, black players. I think it took a lot from him as well. I don't know him personally, never interviewed him or anything, but from an outsider's perspective, I think it took a lot for him to be part of that team and to honestly lead that team as well to glory is a great thing. So I'll definitely go with Mokoko.
I'll go with Lucas. More for I'm a guy that likes left-footed plays on the left. Because I've got Lucas in the team with that experience, what he just said.
Sure.
Also knowing Coach Neil, I know him as coach because he coached me.
Sure.
I remember I kicked him with the ball the one day. The training just went quiet. I kicked him in the stomach. He came up, his face was red. I said it was me, but anyways, I'll take Lucas. Also thinking very good on the ball, and also strong.
Also got a powerful left foot as well.
Good. And that's as a tackle.
Sure. Why don't you take this one first, Skipper?
I'll say Linda. For me, as good as he was, I'll take Linda for presence. Also for what he's done. You also need a presence in the midfield, especially in the spine of the team. So I'll take Linda over him.
Honestly, I've never seen Linda Buthelezi play. And when you're speaking of a strength aspect, and I'm speaking of Uyeye here, yeah, gave Seydou Keita a tough time on that midfield when we played against Mali, I think. And he did a great job in frustrating a player like Seydou Keita, who's very physical. Although Yeye is much smaller, I think he did quite well in that defensive role. So from the fact that I've known him, Kimudimu Abolo, Renole Letsulenya. I'm going to take this one first.
Why you doing that? Dikhatso, because now if you have Tinkler and Linda, both probably the same.
Sure.
So you need one that's a bit more creative and more, can ping the ball.
Sure.
So I'll take Dikhatso also for...
I've only played with Eric Tinkler in 5-a-side.
Yeah.
And I think if anyone knows Eric Tinkler, they'll tell you about the shot that he has in his right foot.
Yeah.
So if we are playing with a 4-3-3, I'm having Yeye holding. And I'll need someone, of course, who will do a bit of a assist with the box-to-box work, because Yeye already does a bit of that. And I think I'll go with Eric Tinkler because up front, if we don't have a lot of goals, which is something that we usually don't, we need someone to be able to take shots from outside of the box. And I think Eric Tinkler would be able to give us that.
Let me take this one also.
Sure.
I'll pick Teko.
Oh, okay.
Even when he's half injured.
Sure.
I think he's probably the best player that I've played with.
When he's half injured?
Even if he's not on top of his game,
sure,
I would pick him any time in my team.
Really?
I think he's probably the best player that I've played with in my career. Even though it was a short while before he left.
Sure.
But I think anytime, any day, over anyone. Sorry, I know.
Yeah.
That's me.
No, but you played with him, so I understand. And you played with the young Teko Modise with the flurry hair, But for me, I've always told people in my generation that Teko Modise is a different breed. This is a completely different breed. He was, the navigator. I definitely go with Teko as well. For the presence that he had during that year as well, of the World Cup. I mean, he was all over, in everyone's face, adverts and all of that, and having to deal with all of that and still be, of course, the World Cup that he had wasn't great, but it doesn't take away from the player that he was. And I do think, like you're saying, on a day where you need him the most, he'll show up. So I do think I'll also stick with Teko Modise.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this one as well. So there was someone asked me, those questions they ask you, like this player and this player, then you have to say this player. If you say this player, they keep going.
Sure.
I changed Teko with Steven. It's the only player time that I changed him.
Sure.
I'll take Steven over Tok at any time. I think Steven also probably one of the best that we had exports. Also, just his hard work.
Sure.
I once doubted, I know if I can add this, we were the Bafana team. We were done training.
Sure.
We were on our way back, and then someone stayed when it was Steven. He was doing box to box. I was like, what the hell?
What is
At
this?
the top of his game.
Sure.
Steven, anytime.
When you say Steven Pienaar, there's only one thing that comes into my mind. Everton counter-attack at the Emirates, chips the ball over the goalkeeper, and he does that little celebration, a drunken celebration. Anytime, Steven Pienaar, one of the best we've ever had, going out abroad. He's represented us quite well. Dortmund, Ajax Amsterdam, Everton, Spurs. Also wanted by Chelsea, I remember, at some point. So, Steven Pienaar.
That's good.
I'm going with Chaba. Once again, I think this will show, of course, a bit of my age. It will show off a bit of my age. But once again, Chaba, quality player, one of the best in our generation. So yeah, definitely sticking with Chaba. Also, that World Cup opening goal, that takes the crown. That takes the crown.
I'll pick him as well. Also because he didn't change after that. If I scored a goal like that, I would have run home. Coach take me off, but he stayed the same. I think throughout his career, and also what he's done for us as well. I'll pick him as well.
Let's ask Casillas. Let me say that. Let's ask Casillas. Ike Casillas will tell you.
But that was one goal.
Ike Casillas will tell you. And I think during his time at Super Sport under Pito, he was He was almost there, but then he
Yeah.
went abroad and came back to Sundowns, and it was a different. That's when we called him Killer.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I think Sean Bartlett, I can praise him all day. I only got to see the latter years of Sean Bartlett.
Yeah.
So definitely Killer Mphela for me.
I'll take Son. Not because he's from Cape Town and I'm from Cape Town.
It's
just that
fine, it's fine.
consistency for me, also on what he's done and where he's gone and he came back again, you know. For me, I'm also one of those that would like, you know, presence. You know, the spine
Sure.
it's very important to me as a player and as a coach. So I would pick Son over Killer. I've played with Killer, but I didn't see much of him personally.
Sure.
I think he could have given us more in my
given you
team.
guys more, yeah.
But I'll go with Son.
That's how we wrap it up. I wonder what your thoughts are. Who is going to win if these teams had to square off? Maybe Coach Ricardo might have had more technical reasons for picking some guys. Nah, I chose off.
But you can't say that. It's my team.
Yeah, it's your team.
But now it makes it if your team is better than mine. But anyways, we'll see.